Testing, 1, 2, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. Okay, we are live, everybody. Okay, we are live, everybody. So I'm just inviting everybody to join me. Okay, how's everybody doing? Let's wait a little bit for everybody to join us. No, for me it's 3:26 p.m. Lee. Hello, Kim. Yeah, I'll do US dollar Japanese yen today, of course. We actually, the signal sent on US dollar Japanese yen. Well, we stopped out a break even, but I do believe that we have another opportunity to buy into that. Hello, Tanya. Armando, ¿cómo estás? Thank you, Lee. Yeah, I know that, I was supposed to go live about 2 hours ago, but my connection was really, really bad. South Africa in the house. Well, 11, almost midnight in South Africa. That's awesome. That, just, lay back on your bed, and watch the stream. Buenas tardes, Armando. Para nosotros está temprano todavía, ¿verdad? Right. So, let's give every 3 a.m. in India. Wow. Well, welcome to the stream. All right, so we're going to do a midweek market review. Hello, Alan. That's right. Just get under your sheets and enjoy the show. Right, so we're going to start this midweek market review. Manchester in the house. Yeah, that's great. So, I don't think that we're going to have a ton of people joining, just because of how late it is in some countries. But still, we are definitely going to wait a little bit for everybody to join us. So let's just, whilst we wait, why don't we go ahead and look at that US dollar Japanese yen. Nottingham in the house. Saeed Raza from India in the house, even though it's 3 a.m. That's awesome. Right, so the US dollar Japanese yen that I traded, right, got stopped out of break even. Cool. So, you know what the R on that trade. Hello, Simo. If you could just hold on for a second. I think we can start actually. So the US dollar Japanese yen that I traded earlier this week got stopped out of break even, right? we protected that trade. The R on that trade was amazing, right? So the R on that trade was, I think, better than a 1-to-3 risk to reward ratio, right? This was our trade, and we were targeting around this, the 1140, right? So it was a 1-to-3 risk to reward ratio on that trade. Cool. So we got stopped out of break even, and you know, the reason that we moved stops to break even. Just hold on a second, please. Well, it was to protect our trade, okay? Because I mean, we were looking at a possible breakout of the 110.73, 110.70 to 110.73 level, these highs right here, buyers were not strong enough to push through that level, right? Taking half off there would have actually been, well, you could, I mean, I could have taken half there, right, at a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. It was actually lower than a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio at those highs. Actually, let's do the actual math. Yep, it was exactly a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. But the thing about this is that this clean breakout of this bearish structure, right, gave us the opportunity to have a 1-to-3 risk to reward ratio. And now that we had this pullback today, right to the our entry level, right? That's why we got stopped out of break even. But I do believe that we can get another, or I can get another opportunity to get into this buy in the US dollar Japanese yen, right? Even though we got stopped out of break even, yeah, I think that if this level holds, I can get another buy during the Asian session at the retest. I'm sorry, at the retest of last week's high. So let's have a look at the 4-hour chart, right? And let's just look at price action itself, and let's have a look at levels, right? The last week's highs were at around the 110.35 level, these highs right here, and this is where price is consolidating at the moment, right? To me, there's still not a setup to buy into this, and of course not at this time of the day. But if these highs hold, then the overall bullish structure would be more than confirmed. So heads up to that, to last week's highs around the 110.35 level, right, for further bullish continuation on the US dollar Japanese yen, right? By looking at the hourly chart, right, let's have a look at the hourly chart. All right, so let's have a look at the chat a little bit. Is there a way to get this video link to work in desktop? I can only use the link directly from Telegram group and can only view on mobile. Really, that's weird. What you can do is just go to our YouTube channel, right? And there should be a thumbnail there that I am live at the moment on desktop, right? That's weird that you cannot run it on desktop actually. All right, so let's move on, and let's have a look at the Japanese yen basket. Exactly, download Telegram for desktop. Actually, that's a good idea, AS. So the Japanese yen, this is FXEM Japanese yen basket, very similar like the DXY for the US dollar, right? For the past week and a half or so, we have been looking at these lows, right? in this market, right, the 93,000 level. Now, today was a very choppy day for the Japanese yen, right? But we are trading below that level, below these lows, which is, well, it's not a very very signal per se, but you know, it is the first time since July 16 that price has traded below this level. So, if price holds below this level, we are going to get further downside continuation, maybe to retest July 12th lows, in which case that will give our US dollar Japanese yen a buy, a lot of bullish momentum, right? So that's, I mean, the reason that we are holding on to, or I'm holding on to trade the long side on the US dollar Japanese yen is because of this, okay? Now, let's have a look at the very low time frames. This is the 3-hour chart. I don't know why I'm looking at the 3-hour chart here. Let's have a look at the 1-hour chart. So the hourly chart looks like this, right? And to me, this hourly candle represents a perfect rejection of these highs that were broken with, right? Now, like I told you, there is no setup to me to get involved in this market at the moment. But if we look at the 15-hour, at the 15-minute chart, right, there is a somewhat a reversal pattern printing right here on the 50-minute chart, right at these lows. Okay, to be completely honest, you know, the validation level for this breakout should be around the 110.50, right, or above these highs, but we do have this massive level very close to that entry. So well, I'm going to keep an eye on this market, right, because I do believe that we have a deep buy opportunity at the retest of the previous broken levels, okay, yeah, but I'm really not convinced at the moment. So let's move on. Let's have a look at the US dollar, as we always do. So the US dollar again, you know, got smashed down from the 93 level, right? On the, let's start by looking at the daily chart. On the daily chart, I mean, this level is kind of weird looking. We should actually be looking at these highs. On the daily, right, sellers got involved in this market. Let me just delete this Fibonacci at the July 21st highs. Okay. Yeah, I'll do the pound yen. Someone asked me to do the pound Swiss franc. I'll do that too. But you know, before I go any further, if you really like, you know, these shows, I would appreciate that you hit the like button on the on the YouTube stream, you know, the YouTube video, because that helps us out a lot, you know, with the YouTube algorithm. And you know, our goal is just to get this information, this free information, to as many traders as we can. Yeah, I'll do Eurocad, Linda Anastasia. Cool. So you know, the sellers on the US dollar got involved at July 21st highs, right? This by no means represents a possible sell-off, even though you could consider that a double top, you know, it's being printed. But to me, you know, today's candle just means a little bit of exhaustion before the actual breakout. Now, if we look at the 4-hour chart, right? If you look at the 4-hour chart, we are in a very bullish move, right? From the lows around the 91.80, where sellers failed to complete the breakout of that reversal pattern, right? You know, we are still trading above the weekly pivot and above this massive base. So On the short term, I would consider every dip as a buy opportunity above the 92.75 level right here. And the cool thing about this is that if we get that deep buy opportunity in the DXY, my US dollar Japanese yen idea is going to be a massive success in the sense that we are going to get bullishness out of the US dollar and bearishness out of the Japanese yen, which translates into bullishness into bullishness on the US dollar Japanese yen. So we're going to have both currencies playing in our favor, right? On the hourly, again, on the hourly chart, on the DXY, my key level, right, the make it or break it level, the 92.70 level, right? So today's price action, right, today's dip to the 92.85 level, it's again just a buy opportunity. Now, right now, to be completely honest, in order for me to get involved on a buy on the US dollar, I would want a price to retest these lows, right? To retest this level right here. Because if you look at this candle, this is where big sellers got involved in this market, right? And when it broke to the upside, this is where we're going to see big buys, right? And those big levels act as magnets. So it's very plausible that we are going to get another leg down on the lower time frames, right, to those exact levels before big buyers actually jump in. Kentucky in the house. That's awesome. So those are my thoughts on the US dollar, right? Let's have a look at the pound yen. Everybody wants to look at the pound yen. I know that a lot of you love this market. Me too. The pound yen can be a really profitable market. But for the past weeks, let's start by looking at the daily chart. And let's just delete this channel, right? And let's just focus on levels. Okay. Now I'm looking for buys on the pound yen, right? I'm looking for buys on the pound yen. But price is still trading below the my validation level, right? As you can see, a lot of rejection has taken place here around the 153.30 to 153.50, right? Now, having said that, if we look at the 4-hour chart, right? Let's have a look at the 4-hour chart. What I see here is a possible bullish continuation. Why? Because even though we have a very big resistance level around the 153.45 to 153.30 level, or these highs, buyers have been jumping in higher and higher. This creates a flat triangle, right, on the top side, which consolidates at the point and then breaks out to this is a bullish continuation pattern. Now, having said that, I don't think I'm going to be trading the breakout just because of how massive this level has been, right? So the probability of success on a breakout are maybe 50-50 with the probabilities of a fake out, right? So what I want to see is price really breaking out a real breakout and then consolidating around the 153.45 to 153.50, right? Just like the US dollar Japanese yen. And again, the other reason is because if I were to trade at the breakout here, my first targets will give me a 1 to 1.25 risk to reward ratio. But even though I have a positive risk to reward ratio on a possible breakout here on the GBP yen, the probability of success of this breakout being 50-50 makes this setup unprofitable in the long term, right? The math don't support putting a buy stop above the 153.50. So that's why I need that I need to see that real breakout and then the retest, like we have seen on the US dollar Japanese yen. But I am looking for buys in this market, not sales, right? If you look at the daily chart, to me this looks extremely bullish, and actually we could get a nice actually, let's put on this level at the highs of the week. I mean, we could get a nice run to retest, you know, May 27 highs, and that, my friends, would mean that we could actually be looking at a 260 pip move to the upside, right? But that is just one of the scenarios that I am currently considering, and actually I'm going to put on a red flag here. This has not, I mean, well, look at the, let's have, wow, yeah, here. Let's have a look at the hourly chart, right? The past few days have been extremely choppy in this market. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of choppy price action around the highs, right? This is actually a very tight range for the pound yen. We're talking about 72 pips, right? In very choppy price action. And we haven't even retested July 29 highs. So this is a no-go, a no-trade zone for me, right? But please hold. Just looking at my other screen. But if and when we get that breakout, you know, buyers are really going to get into this market. And the reason that I'm telling you this is because of this, all right? So let's have a look at price action itself for the past couple of weeks. So this portion of the chart right here, all right? So buyers have constantly been jumping in higher and higher, right? Now, this is very bullish for me. All right, this is very bullish for me, and but we have to also consider how this level has been rejected. So price action tells us that there is a lot of sellers here. There is a lot of sell orders here, and even though buyers have been jumping in higher and higher, right? This is a very thick area, and you know, it's going to take a lot of buyers to swipe all the sell orders that are placed here. Now that's why the probabilities of a real breakout with the probabilities of a fake out are about 50-50, because let's imagine that you know, during the London Open or so, we get that breakout, right? A lot of buyers jump in here and they swipe all the sell orders that are placed around the 153.30 to 153.60, let's call it. What could happen is that those buyers are just momentum players, right, that are going to take profit very fast, and that is going to create that sell pressure that I mean, that's how false breakouts play. So what we need here is really a consolidation above the highs. 50-50. Why, Simo? Because of my accent? Right, so that's the pound yen. I mean, that's at least that's what I'm seeing on the pound yen, guys. Remember that I mean, if you I made this this stream available to all because it's late at night, you know, and also if you're not part of the VIP team, you know, we do have a very good. I'm going to show you the actual trade that we have. We have a short position on the US dollar Canadian dollar that is currently running in about, I don't know, 20 pips or so in profit. And we have another trade on the Aussie Yen, or I have another trade on the Aussie Yen. So if you're not part of the VIP team, you know, there's a link below this video where you can subscribe. And if you use the code Orlando50 at the checkout, you're going to get 50% off your first month. That is, that is us just letting you know that you can try us out. And we also have that 30-day money back guarantee. So there's no risk for you. These couple of days, now let's move on. These couple of days have been quite, actually, I'm going to leave that here, have been quite, non-directional, etc. And I think that it was yesterday that I sent out this buy on to the VIPs, right? This trade to buy the GBP USD because we use mostly stop orders. We didn't get triggered and we deleted that order. But let's talk about the GBP USD and why I'm still bullish on this market, right? After the rejection of this massive level, the 135.60 or so, we had a good couple of very bullish trading days. Now, of course, that we were going to get some reaction out of the previous highs, which is what we got here. But if you look at price action itself, right, the impulsive moves are to the upside. This move to the downside is just it's a pullback, right? A very choppy move to the downside. The first impulsive move was to the upside, and we're talking about 400 pip move to the upside. Okay, then we are talking about, and actually I'm going to grab this. So from this low to this high, we're talking about a 418 pip move to the upside. Actually, the other one was the correct one. And we're talking about 9 days worth of price action for a 3% move to the upside. Now, if we look at the pullback, we're talking about 13 days worth of price action and only 191 pips or 1.36% move to the downside. So, it's pretty obvious that the impulsive moves are bullish, right, in this market. That's why I'm looking for buy opportunities myself. And if we look at the 4-hour chart, right, yesterday I was looking at the retest of this level and a possible breakout of the weekly pivot, right, and this week's highs. That didn't pan out. But if we look at what's going on right now, right, if we go further back in price action, right, these lows, let's just delete all this, doesn't need that. Let me point that out. These lows, this base right here, is, and if you look at this 4-hour candle, this is where buyers jump in the past. Now, today we rejected the 138 level again, right? And price is still trading within this kind of a flag, right? Let's have a look at this. Let's clone those. We're trading inside of that flag. Now, having said that, it's kind of, all right, let me put it this way. Even though this is a clear flag, bullish flag, right? At least at the moment, because we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know future price action, future auction, right? We don't know what's going to happen. But for now, we have a clear bullish flag formation, right? Now, having said that, what I don't like about this is the validation level, right? Because if you look at the flag, right? Let's look at the flag formation and price action within the flag. From this high, all right, hold on. Let me grab the brush again. So we have the first wave down, then the second wave up, and the third wave down. So where would my validation level be, right? At the break of these highs. And that, my friends, makes for a not so good risk to reward ratio on this trade. Why? Let me show you. Now let me just delete the brush on my chart, right? Let me show you. Where is it? Long position here. If we put on, this is our validation level. Of course, our stop losses, my stop losses would have to be below the flex low, and most definitely this level right here is going to be a hard level for buyers. So this gives me a negative or less than a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio for first targets. Now, having said that, if yeah, I'm gonna have a look at equity. So having said that, let's go to the lower time frames, right? Let's go to the lower time frames, and I'm going to delete this because it's very interesting, right? Quite interesting what's going on. So this is the level. Cool. So having said that, guys, if we look at the lower time frames, right? If we look at the lower time frames, at the hourly, for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, for the past 5 days, price action has been very bearish in the sense that price has created new lower daily highs, new lower daily lows. But today we created a new higher daily high. So just focusing on this and levels, right? If we break with these highs, we would break with the weekly pivot. So if we break with these highs, consolidate above those highs, maybe we can get a lower time frame risk to reward ratio. I'm sorry, a low time frame entry with a great risk to reward ratio within the flag, you know. Aussie Yen still good. Let's have a look. Yeah, mate. Aussie Yen still very much in play. Right, so yeah, we are keeping an eye on this market. So I'm gonna put on the red flag. All right. Do you have more questions? Eurocad. All right, let's have a look at the Eurocad. The Eurocad. Well, quite interesting actually. Let's have a look at the daily time frame on the Eurocad. You know, all right. So the Eurocad on the daily. I mean, you could say that. No, this is it. I mean, you could say that Eurocad is at support. Yesterday's daily candle was on this. On decision candle, but if you look at this massive bearish candle, you know, I wouldn't be a buyer. I don't know what you are looking to do here. Yeah, sure, Jorge, I'll do it. I don't know what you're looking at doing here on the Eurocad, but you know, let's have a look at the 4-hour chart. I don't know. I mean, this market is super choppy, you know. On the hourly, we're looking at a very bearish move of about, let's actually calculate that, price range. From the highs to the lows, that was a 262 pip move without a deep pullback, right? So, talking about the Eurocad, actually, what I would, where I would consider getting involved would be a rally to these levels right here, to the 146.60 for a sell on the Eurocad, right? But because I'm already short on the US dollar, Canadian dollar, you know, I wouldn't be, I really wouldn't get involved here. Okay, so Gbp Swiss Franc, you know, that is a market that I don't even have on my watch list. So let's have a look. All right. Oh, Gbp Swiss Franc. All right. So the Gbp versus the Swiss Franc. So all right. Let's have a look at the daily chart. I mean, the Gbp versus the Swiss Franc has been on a range since April, right? So let's look at some levels. The upside is being capped by the 128 level, of course. The downside being capped by, the 120, let's call it the 125, 30 or so. It doesn't look like much on the daily. Let's have a look at the 4-hour chart. Yeah, I don't see what you want to do here. To be completely honest, just flicking on my watch list, if this market were on my watch list, and just by looking at the daily and the 4-hour chart, I wouldn't even analyze it. Now, having said that, let's have a look at the hourly, right? Because we have been in, our price has been in a very, very strong move to the upside, about 245 pips, for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, for a week or so, right? Now, this is extremely bullish, of course. So, if a price were to go down again and retest these highs around the 127, the 127 level, this is where I would consider buys on the Gbp Swiss Franc, right? And only that, and only that, All right, so that's that. I don't know how many of you were on my last show where, what is that doing here? Where I was, yeah, Sergio, I'll do that later. Where I was looking at this, this breakout on Ripple. How many of you were on my last show that I was looking on that breakout on Ripple? Please raise your hands on the chat. I'll wait. So none of you. All right. So on my last, all right. So at least Allen and AS were. And do you remember that? I was trying to put on a buy stop for that breakout on Ripple, but I think that spreads were a little bit wide. All right, so a lot of people were, right? Did you guys follow on that trade? Because I sure did. Right? I sure did. And I took that long on Ripple, right here. I put on those buy stops on Ripple. The next day, or when when Ripple dipped a little bit, and I am in on that trade. Yeah, the spread was a problem, but I waited. I waited because this was actually a massive buy opportunity. I told you guys about that, and it actually made sense to some of you, right? And right now, this trade is up about 22%, right? Hopefully some of you follow on that trade idea, But now, having said, now that Ripple has broken with this massive level, or has broken out massively, today it's up 20.37%. Let's have a look at some possible levels that buyers are going to have problems with. Of course, the first level is the previous highs, but I'm really not concerned about those levels, right? Now, the 125 level is where I think buyers are going to, or at least short-term buyers are going to start banking in on some profits, right? So it's very plausible that we're going to get some kind of a pullback back to this level right here, right? If, of course, buyers managed to break through the 105 to 106 to 110 level, right? So this is very bullish, right? This is a very bullish market at the moment. And to be completely honest, I really don't know if this was because of some news or just buying volume or whatever. I don't know, right? But if this bullish momentum continues, right? First of all, this is where I'm thinking of taking some partial profits on my trade, right? Because there is a high probability that we are going to get, well, long traders, buyers, taking partial profits just like me, creating some bearish pressure, of course, and bears jumping in here because of how massive this base was in the past. So that is going to create some kind of a pullback back to the 110, and this is where we're going to find the next buying opportunity. That is not going to happen for, I don't know how long, but it's not going to happen tomorrow, or maybe it will. Who knows what's going to happen in cryptocurrencies. This market is extremely volatile. But now that I am in on a buy, my idea, my trade plan is this, to get on or to take some profits here now, because the probability of a deep pullback is quite high, right? And I don't want to get in on a deep pullback, right? So I'm going to take partials here, and also because I don't know if what we're going to get here is actually a deep pullback or a full-on reversal, right? No one knows, so you have to be prepared. You have to have a plan. So my plan is to take some partials here and then wait for that reaction to the 125 to 130 level, right? It's very plausible also that if this very bullish momentum continues, price is just going to break through. If that scenario plays out, I'm also fine with it. But if the pullback scenario plays out, this is where we will be. Yeah, Linda, it is still valid. If you are on the VIP team and on the swing trading team, yeah, both are valid. So that's my plan on Ripple, guys. That is my plan on Ripple. Ethereum, Ethereum keeps on rocking, guys. So our swing trade with the swing trading team, this is up about 55%, and it keeps on rocking. We added onto our trade. And this market keeps on rallying. If you want to get involved in, in our VIP groups, there's a link below this video. Again, if you use the code Orlando50, you're gonna get 50% off with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So there's no risk for you, right? I haven't even looked at gold. Now, I haven't even looked at gold, but let's have a look at the 3-hour chart on gold. I'm gonna finish the stream with gold, So we had that big drop in gold, right? Now, let's look at percentages. From high to low, this was 8.44% drop. And then from the lows to the highs of today, we're talking about a 4.63% move to the upside. Now, having said that, this market is extremely bearish, right? So if I were to look at gold, thank you, Ronnie, I love it too. If I were to look at gold, I would look for the rejection of these lows, right? Right here, the 1760 level or so, just because of how massive this level has been historically, right? This is the level where big buyers jump in to take gold to all-time highs. No, this is not all-time high. This is a 3-hour chart. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, what a dumb thing to say. But on a big rally, right, to the 1913 level. Now that level has been broken with. This is the level where buyers were jumping in or buyers were protecting. We are trading below that level, and very plausibly this is the level where sellers are going to be jumping in. Now, having said that, to me there's no trade, there's no setup at all in gold, but that is actually, I'm sorry, the level that I'm looking for, or that I'm looking at. I'm sorry, that I'm looking at, right here. So yeah, that's gold. And you know, that is me. I have been live for 45 minutes. You know, very nice session, guys. Cool questions. You know, let's finish up by looking at this. You know, DeFi coin. The big buy opportunity in DeFi coin, in my opinion, is still there. You know, we are trading, or DeFi is trading. Yeah, Euro USD is boring and there's no trade at the moment. I always say that, Linda. You know, the Euro USD is a currency pair that you know, involves two very strong currencies, right? Involves two very strong currencies. So you know, more so when one currency is bearish and the other one is bullish. You know, it's going to have a lot of traction between buyers and sellers, and it's going to create a choppy range market, right? So when it comes to trading, what I look for, you know, is I mean, firstly I decide, all right, I want to buy the US dollar, right? What market I'm going to be, you know, choosing to buy the USD, right? I'm not going to go and sell Euro US dollars to buy US dollars, right? No, why? Because that market involves two very strong currencies. So maybe I'm going to look at the US dollar Mexican peso, because the US dollar, I mean, a very strong move on the US dollar is going to definitely move the US dollar Mexican peso a lot. Why? Because the Mexican peso is a very weak currency in regards to the US dollar, right? So yeah, that's how you need to think about this. So I still own 2,250, you know, DeFi coins, and I'm going to hold those for dear life. Looking to add more. So let's have a look at what's going on. We had, I mean, on my last stream, we were talking about this deep buy opportunity, right, around the 60-cent level. And in my opinion, there is still that buy opportunity is still very much in play, right? If you look at the market trades, a lot of green, a lot of green, a lot of green, you know, a lot of green going on, a lot of buying volume going on in DeFi coin, and you know, buyers really are holding on to those levels. So this is the hourly charts, and I think I have a brush here. Yeah, I do. So let me just move this. I hate the crosshair arrow. That's it. So yeah, I want a brush. I have the brush. So let's have a look. All right. So we have that support here. We have this range that we are seeing here with buyers jumping in at these levels. Right. Hold on. At these levels. So you know, when it comes to altcoins and when it comes to these markets, what I've noticed is that putting on buy stops, you know, at the breakouts don't work. It doesn't work quite as well, you know, because of the somehow illiquidity, right? What's best to do in these markets, and I have found out this by playing this market, is to buy at market at the bottom of those ranges, right? To buy at market at the bottom of those ranges. Why? Because actually, I mean, what we're doing, or what I'm doing here, I'm buying coins, I'm buying DeFi coins, you know, to hold on to them, right? This is not a trade. This is this is very swinging to me, right? So risk to reward ratio, there is no calculation because I'm planning to hold in this for a long time, right? If I put my buy stops here, actually I would be losing on all of these moves just because this is a hold for me, right? So I'm going to be buying more here, today. The opportunity is still here. This market is, the volume on this market on the past 24 hours, it's pretty high. And, there are no whales in this market, which is awesome. And, that's my thoughts on exactly what I buy and hold. So if you're interested in that, let me just give you the hold on. the link to open an account here. Pretty cool. Hold on, I'm looking for that. I should have that ready right for you guys, but I didn't, so hold on. Here it is. Right. Here it is. So just open an account, you know, you can fund it and buy DeFi coins there. Yeah, it's in the channel, but you know, why? I mean, if I have it on hand, why don't I just post it here too, right? Also, guys, you know, if you have any questions, you know, regarding anything, or some comments about, you know, actually, if you have comments about this show, you know, what you like about these shows, what would you would want, what you would want in these shows, etc. Just please leave a comment on below this video. I would really appreciate your feedback, because I mean, this is for you guys, right? And you know, if we don't have your feedback about this, yeah, then I mean, I'm going to keep doing the same thing unless I see that you know, you want some more educational content or whatever, you know. But you know, any feedback is good feedback, so please leave it at the bottom of the video. I would appreciate it. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and you know, have a great you know, wherever you are in this beautiful round world, or flat world for some of you, I don't know. Have a great night. Cheers. Yeah, Sanel. Yeah, Sanel. Tomorrow, Olympio is doing his live session around those levels. Good night. Cheers.